All right, interesting morning so far. Not going to deter us. Welcome to Making It Work. I'm Jimmy, by the way. We're going to spend a day in the shop, and we're going to discuss parking for a moment. There's been a semi parked behind my house for 3 days, so I parked on my lawn because I don't want my truck in the street. There's no place else to park. My driveway's only 16 feet long, and my wife and my son park in the driveway. I let them park in the driveway. So I parked on my lawn, and I got a parking ticket. That was pretty cool. There's a semi park behind my house. There's a dead-end road behind my house where I usually park since 1999. Someone just put a semi there. I don't understand, but whatever. I got to work this morning. The new guy's in my spot. I don't know. I just have a lot of habits, I guess, and things I like to be a certain way. Like mufflers. I would cut that up and put it in the scrap pile if it was me. It's not up to me, is it? Also, today is Thursday, and I got 17 hours for the week, but don't you worry, because we're gonna pull it out. I'll do 40 hours the next 2 days, I hope. If I put some clips in right here, at least you'll know what you're gonna see in today's video. I'm gonna do the compressor in that Rebel I looked at last week, the Bangkok, Thailand Honda. Now you might notice there's a bunch of Ace trucks out on the property. One of them needs an engine. The one directly behind me there has got a bad engine. I don't know what the other ones need, but they've been here a while. I'm not sure what's going on with them. We've been kind of slow. Maybe we'll be working on those today. Did you see in the clips? They got here early, got the shop open up for me already. Everything's good. I stopped at the racetrack, got some lottery tickets. We're going to turn this thing around. Let's try to learn a thing or two and have some fun. Stay tuned. Alright, I can't lift it on this rack. I gotta drive it around to the back lift. I'm gonna do the compressor in that Rebel I looked at last week. I guess the customer's gonna do it himself, but then realized it was 1234YF and you can't buy it. So he could have put the compressor in and then we could charge it for him, but I don't know what the dealio is with that. I just know I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna get it on that back drive-on rack because this thing is too big for my lift. It's a heck of a squeeze back here. A heck of a squeeze, but we'll get it. Try not to bounce off anything, or at least minimize the bouncing, and we'll be in good shape. It's like 4 hours labor with the evac and recharge, with which the 1234YF itself is like an hour and a half of it, but it should be all right. I guess it's going to be pretty easy to do. The only hard part is the big old truck, and it's got scatter shields underneath and stuff, and giant tires, and it's going to make it a little awkward height-wise and stuff. But other than that, I don't think it'll be too bad. 49,589 miles, 2019 Dodge Ram Rebel. That's about the life expectancy, I guess. I'm not sure why he's got the coolant temp gauge up, but we've already ran it long enough because I couldn't get past this truck, so I had to go around the long way. This thing's probably a little warm now, but we're not in a rush. I'm basically writing this week off at this point, so if I get 30-35 hours, we'll be all right. You know, some mechanics, when things are going bad, it's been a little slow, you get more anxious and work harder. I do the opposite. I tend to go, well, I'm writing this one off, but when I'm doing good, then I hustle. You guys do that? Because the only thing I can't stand more than a weak paycheck is feeling like I work really hard for a weak paycheck. When it's slow and you don't really do that much, or you mess with your own car, killing time, you expect a weak paycheck. It's not a big deal, but you feel like you've been working hard. That's what happens when you try to make up a 40-hour week on the last 2 days. You feel like you work really hard, and then your paycheck still won't be that good. All right. You guys might remember this truck, is full of refrigerant, but the compressor doesn't pull the low side down below like 80 psi. I forget what the exact number was, but full of refrigerant, not making it cold because it's not dropping the pressure on the low side. So if the compressor can't pull the low side down, it's not going to get cold because the low side is directly related to the temperature. Skip. Continue. So we'll pull the refrigerant out of it. We'll make note of how much it says it pulled out as well, but I believe last time I tried recovering and recharging it to see if that would help, and it didn't. But in any event, this machine is also not 100% accurate when it's pulling refrigerant out. it's 95% or so accurate putting it in, and the specifications allow for that. So we'll let this cook a minute. We'll come back, get it in the air, and get that splash guard off. I've got a step around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Look at those. We're not a tire store. When I first started working here, one of the best things was they didn't do tires. But those days are gone. So this thing's going to analyze a refrigerant sample. It'll take a little while, and then it'll pull it out. It wants to make sure we're not going to poison the refrigerant we've already got stored in the machine. And this is the exact reason that it does it, because the customer's already used adapters to put the wrong refrigerant in it, so now the machine's probably not going to recover the refrigerant. We'll have to try alternative methods. I'm not so sure that's how that goes. And there is some hokey fanoky stuff going on in the pokey. Street shield, what is it? I guess it'll keep this cross member from catching on something if you're doing some serious off-roading. I don't know. Anyway, I gotta figure out how to get it off of there. And I don't think a socket will fit on that little gap. I could make it fit the way they did over here. We'll just do a slight adjustment and I'll have to take this one off. Pry bar and a hammer. Give me some room to get my socket in there, I think. I brought a 13 and a 15. Full disclosure, I had to go back to my box. It's a 14. Uh-oh. These turkeys have got loose nuts on top of this shield. So I got to see if my little T-Rex arms can reach in there. Oh, now I also have to go back to my box for a wrench. Don't worry, I'll be all right. I think I feel it. The bolt is backed up to another bolt. I can't get the box end on it. That's cool. You guys really did a good job. Aftermarket stuff is so cool. These are happy. That's what I call a catch, man. I don't want to brag. That's made up for this whole job right there. I don't know. All right, there's the compressor. I want to say now that this clutch wasn't engaging as what it was on this. I think I remember the fact that it's two different colors, so I knew it had a magnetic clutch. I remember that part of the conversation, but I did not notice that this is an aftermarket compressor. Someone's already replaced it once. There's no turning back now. We're gonna rock it. Maybe the customer did try putting it on himself, because initially I thought they said the customer was going to fix it himself. And here it is with what looks like a new compressor on it. And now I'm doing it, so I don't know. I do know one thing. You take these two nuts off, and there's a nut in the back, or a bolt in the back. Once you take these nuts off, you can take the studs out. Otherwise you can't get the compressor low enough to clear the studs. So after you de-nut it, you got to de-stud it, and then you can pull it forward. Uh-oh. This might not be deep enough, and my deep one's not going to fit up here. Gonna have to use the old ratchet wrench. Don't worry. I got one right here. And going back together, we have to remember these go back on the studs for the wiring harness, which I can tuck up out of my way for now, so nothing bad happens. I got a socket for the studs, which are right here. It's a Torx bit. I believe this one or this one are going to fit. We'll see. Uh-oh. There's a little residual refrigerant in there. Which one's the tensioner? I think this one. 1/2 inch to get this belt tensioner loose. Let that cook a second. We'll get that belt off of there. Then I'll pop these studs out afterwards so it'll be stabilized a little bit. And then we'll be ready. Are you ready? Anybody listen to Korn? Love me some Korn. What the hell? Come on, Dodge. What are you guys doing, man? Is this thing I'm turning a tensioner or not? I don't think it is. Because I can't compress it. And I don't want to break it. Maybe it's that 15 up there and I guessed wrong. Dodge. If you don't dodge, ram it. Well, it's got to be running in order for you to ram it. Or at least have nice cool AC on a hot and muggy morning. I'm already drinking Gatorade. It's like 9:15. What the heck is going on? Oh, look at that. What's the other pulley on there for? Oh, I get it. You got to loosen this and loosen that at the same time. And use your third hand to lift the belt off the pulleys. I got an idea. If I swing my wrench past and then put this in, it'll hold my wrench while I turn this one, right? That's what I'm hoping. Probably got to put that all the way in. Ugh. Otherwise it'll strip out this tensioner. Ugh. Oh my goodness gracious. This means an engineer messed up bad and they had to come up with a solution. Comes right out of there. You gotta have like an 1/8 inch pin. Pull this tensioner back so you can set the pin. And then this one will let you barely get enough slack to get the belt off. It took 2 of us to get the belt off, but we got it. Enough crying and moaning. I'm gonna turn this week around right now. Get this 4-hour job knocked out in only 5 or 6 hours. We'll be good to go. Oh, battery died. Electric tools suck. Got a new battery. I was just kidding, electric tools are awesome. Once there's new batteries in them, they're great. Can't see what I'm doing, I'm just going by feel. Working by braille over here like I do sometimes. As a technician, your talents have to be almost endless. Where's our new one at? Alright, the new compressor we got was wrong. It had 6 grooves. This has an 8 groove belt. 8 groove. And the new compressor we got had a 6 groove pulley. Same exact compressor. So I got my gaskets off of there. I'm gonna cover these tubes up so the dryer doesn't get saturated. It's pretty humid today, about 2,000–3,000% humidity, something like that. I'll cover them up and we'll shut down our lighting, studio, and everything. Microphone, all of it's going off. And, we'll see what happens with the new compressor. Keep rowing, man. Keep rowing. Got to catch this bracket on the bolt in the back too. You got to remember that. All right, we'll be back. ...2001 Toyota Sequoia. Customer wants a wheel alignment. They didn't say anything about symptoms or anything. Just, can I have a wheel alignment? Okay. It's got 239,000 miles on it, and it is poor thing. It's been through some stuff. Let's just say it's slightly traumatized. It's had a rough life, and you know, check engine lights on, stuff like that. The wipers are so bad that it's destroying the windshield and scratching it. you know, let's look at the front end and see what kind of shape it's in. Give it a level rating of 2. I don't know, maybe it should be a 1, because when you just leave your wiper blades like that because they're $9, I don't, it should be a 1 maybe. That there is some major wear. So, yeah, got a new ball joint on the driver's side and a new ball joint on the passenger side. The shocks are leaking and the bushings are blown out. It's supposed to be in the center. That bolt's supposed to be in the center of that eyelet in the shock, but that's all right. Not up to me. The rack and pinion is long gone, but as long as there's no play in it, I can align it. So I'm going to lift it up and do what we call a shakedown. Make sure that nothing is really loose, because it won't hold adjustments if everything's worn out. There are some new parts, which is surprising. I didn't expect that. Uh-oh. That's not supposed to do that. I can see where that play is. It feels like wheel bearing, but it also feels like it could be tie rod end. Let's see what this side does. That feels like tie rod end. Hard to see. I gotta get an assistant. No grease fitting. That tie rod end's good. The inner has the play. I had Rob wiggling stuff. Rob the wiggler. It's got a bad hub bearing in the right front, bad inner tie rod end in the right front, and this fairly new looking outer tie rod end has play in it in the left front. So the rack and pinion is leaking really bad, so it's got some issues. 240,000 miles, what do you expect? And plus, of course, we know he needs, looks like lower control arm bushings are blowed out. I'm gonna have to get a pry bar and check those a little bit. I didn't really check those yet. I think they just got another compressor. Those 8-rib compressors apparently are hard to get. We found one in the area. Look at that. That's no good. A little deflection's normal, but I'm not pushing that hard, so. The back one's okay, but the front one is not. So, all right, we got to write a little list, and I'm going to assume we'll be backing it out, but we'll see. You never know. All right, this compressor looks more like it. So, let's go ahead and get this thing in there. I got my caps off the lines, got my new gaskets on there. Man, it's just pretty. Don't forget, we got to put that little bracket on that back bolt. Should be easy. Tensioner, like I said earlier, got that little pin in it. Still holding it out of my way. I'm going to do the top one first. Just because it seems to make the most sense to me. It'd be really cool if this was just a bolt, but alas, definitely non-power tool right here. Get cranked in with the studs. Just a little snug. Otherwise they won't come out next time. Well, I'm not saying this compressor is going to go bad. You're saying it might. This is the third compressor this truck's had apparently in 49,000 miles. So this comes with 3 ounces of oil in it. Should be about right. I dumped the other compressor. I didn't get a whole bunch of oil out of it, so it might have been under-oiled. Trying to catch that bracket in the back. That's what I thought. Yeah, be that way. I got to get my nuts on those AC lines. Finish tightening these 13s, and then 2 electrical plugs. My little quarter drive seems to be about the best for getting these AC lines. Yes, sir.
I'll click on here.
Nope.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's easy. I think that's all plugged. Should be good. Now, make sure it stays on the alternator up top. Get it kind of situated. I had to get a longer extension because the belt was hitting the extension before. Now that that tensioner's done, bust out my special tool and have to go the other way. Take the tension off of that pin. And the second tensioner is good. Now, since this is 20 minutes to install this thing, I put the bolt facing down too here. Hope the customer doesn't mind, but I'm making it easier if I can. Oh, look at this. That's fancy. What could go wrong? I'm not going to put this back on because it's a pain in the patootie. I'm going to do the evac and recharge, make sure the AC works as it should. Turn this so that it circulates any oil it's able to. And then once it works good, then I'll invest the 20 minutes into putting the off-road stuff back on. All right, it calibrated the refrigerant identifier. Now it's analyzing a refrigerant sample. Oh wait, I got nothing but time. We're about 5 or 6 minutes in. Now it's performing conditioning of internal tank. And please wait. It deducted time off the vacuum I asked for 30 minutes. What the heck? All right, it's 11:37. We'll come back in a little bit. Boom. 20 minutes. Passed. Exit. Identifier error. Okay, cancel. We did a vacuum test. Let's do charge. Skip. Is it an electric compressor? No. How much would you like to put in it? I'm going to find a sticker somewhere under here. It might be far away because it's really high up there. I can't reach. We're going to find a sticker, usually around here somewhere, unless it's been wrecked. Then sometimes they'll paint over the sticker or remove it altogether, or it won't be on the new parts. I just noticed there's a chrome breather on there. That's fancy. Got a chrome brake booster. Alright, let me see if I can find the quantity and we'll enter that and get this thing tested. Okay, this thing takes 18 ounces of refrigerant. So, I asked it for the refrigerant. Now it's going to vacuum it, leak test it, put some refrigerant in, leak test that, ask me if everything passes, and then it'll let me have it. It's 2:11. We'll come back when we're ready to go and the Freon's going in. Oh, looks like we're getting refrigerante. Hasn't been that long. What are you complaining about? Won't be long. We'll be able to fire this thing up, make sure that air works, and then we'll start putting this contraption back on here. Got some decent welds at least. Sure wish they'd have welded some nuts in there so you could just put the bolts in. Maybe those little brackets should have had the bolts welded to them. Alright, pressures are coming down. It's cooling off. It's about time to get this thing up in the air and get that splash shield back on it. I did have to clear codes too. Oh, I just realized too, these sweet spacers don't even get used. They drilled extra holes. This one here is really cool. So I'm guessing there's probably supposed to be some kind of bracket that goes on here. Like maybe across here and you drill a couple holes, I don't know. And they did this because they didn't have a drill bit? I guess they had to drill these. Where's a bracket that's supposed to? I don't. Should I stop trying to figure it out and just put it back together? Let's do that. Maybe we can get something done today other than this one job. And I think that they actually aligned that Toyota Sequoia with the worn out front end parts. He's like, just get it close. I said, not me. but I think someone kind of wiggled it around and got the wheel a little straighter and sent them down the road. That's the first I've ever seen it. You align a car with bad front end parts, but that's not up to me. All right, there's 4 holes and 3 brackets. These are off center. The engine center line's here and the chassis center line's here. Engines are always off to one side and tilted 3 degrees or so. Once I lift this thing up, I guess we'll figure out where it goes. I don't know. Oh my goodness, it seems a little silly. See, I could use my, I'm not that cool of a guy, but if I was a really cool guy, I could put rib nuts in there and you could just bolt these bolts in. But I wasn't asked to install this or customize it or anything. I'm going to put this back together. Oh my goodness gracious. I realize if you get it at just the right height, you can reach in there a little better. And the bolts and everything and the nuts and all that doesn't line up. It requires quite a bit of dancing. And we did call an ambulance in case I get hurt. The other bolt up there almost kind of holds it from turning, but it doesn't. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? And this middle one I took out thinking it held something. It doesn't hold nothing. It just holds the other splash shield. There's like 1, 2, 3 shields here. This is hardcore rough road stuff. You wouldn't understand. Some of you guys just driving mall crawlers. That one doesn't really fit at all. So I spent like 10 minutes trying to get the bolt in the right place there, and then I realized they just drilled it out enough so that you can get the bolt in there and get the nut started, not so that it's flat. It's another thing that a lot of people don't understand. Luckily my viewers have been around a while. You guys kind of get a vibe for hot rod stuff. You know what's going on. Alright, we're gonna go ram some people and see if there's something else to do. It's been kind of slow this week. I apologize. We're probably going to have some short videos again. I know quite a few of you guys were happy about the longer videos, and I did a 57, I think I had 56 or 57 hours last week. It was a pretty good week. Pulled it out in the last 2 days, but I don't think that's going to happen this week. I think Monday and Tuesday will probably be the best days this week, and the rest of the week's kind of slow. Anyway, back to school. I want to show you guys something else too while we're at it. You might know I'm not much of a fan of Dodge. I basically rank them last in the half-ton truck market, but that's me. I mean, it's okay if you like them. I have no problem with that. Watch how long it takes to get the AC screen up. Oop, I don't want to show their faces. People get mad. Watch how long it takes for the AC screen to come up once their faces are off the screen. I will show you. They got to picture themselves up there so that they remember what they look like. I'm not going to edit this at all. We'll wait. We got no AC right now. It's like 110 degrees in the car. Puff the Magic Dragon drives a Dodge Ram. See. Now, I think I can turn it on. I had it on last time I was in here, and it shut itself off. Now, how long was that to get the AC blowing? That seems crazy to me. Working good. Now I know I have it on. I'm going to shut it off again. We're going to restart it. What do you think about that? I'm going to open the door to turn off the power save relay. let the screen go off. Start it again, see if the AC comes back on where I set it last. I want to show the family again. We'll make an adjustment and we'll wait. Oh, it's on. Yay, that's nice. I was hoping it wasn't gonna always have to be turned on manually, because you never know what to expect. I'm just saying. It does take quite a while for the screen to light up though, but at least the AC worked pretty quick. All right, enough horsing around. I just couldn't believe how long it was taking to turn on, and I thought I had turned the AC on. Maybe I turned it on. I don't think so. I think it might not have sat long enough. I think after this thing sits a little while, you have to turn the AC back on again. I don't know. You RAM guys, you tell me. I probably made some of you mad at me. I apologize, but it just seems to take a long time for the screen to boot up and to get back to where we were. But I'll tell you one thing. Air works good once you wait it out. If the sun was out and this was in the middle of the parking lot, it'd be 140, 150 degrees in here while you wait for the AC to boot up. And that would make me sad if it was my truck. That's all I'm saying. Let's see if there's something else to do. It's getting crazy all up in here this week. And not only do I not want to be disappointed, I don't want you guys disappointed. Rob's got the chopper today. Oh yeah. And I got the Bangkok, Thailand Honda. Making a noise. Rob seems to think it's got a CV axial that's not playing nice. The vehicle looks kind of familiar. I think we worked on it not long ago. Oh yeah, it's got our oil change sticker on it. Let's see what kind of millage we got. Let's get the AC going first of all. Tell me to shut it off. You turkeys. Come on, man. Now we can shut this. Now we can see it's got 129,541 miles. I guess we changed the oil then roughly 3,000 miles ago. We are going to see if we hear noises. What the heck is going on? 65, 65. Doesn't feel like cold. Uh-oh, maybe it'll get, maybe we'll give it a minute. Don't panic. Let's see if we can hear some noises. I do need to do that. We'll go turn the wheel. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And she's got a clickety-doo-dah, clickety-a going. So you know what? I'll pull it on the alignment rack real quick. Don't catch the corner of that truck though. Get in trouble. Man, it's making some wicked. I only had the wheel barely turned. It was clicking. All right, let's lift it up and take a look. I'm going to give it a love rating of 5. FYI. For those of you that may be wondering, hey man, no love rating? I'm just happy to get another car to work on. It's been kind of slow. Okay, now the air is starting to work. It must have been sitting out in the parking lot for a little while. I wonder why I just found out about it. Anyway, 10:22 o'clock. Nope, that's not what time it is. Let's get this thing up in the air. I'm not sure if that shows up on camera. But the axle is wiggling in the cup, and there's a little play this way. Where this one, oh, let's do it this way. Doesn't have the same play in it. This one's pretty snug. So I'm gonna say it's the right axle. We could do extreme things like use the lift to lift it by here, and I can drive it in gear and turn the wheel, and you hit the brake just a little bit to drag the brakes, and hit the gas just a little bit to load the drivetrain. And when you turn the wheel, you hear the axle click. You can listen to it on the lift that way. But I'm gonna say this thing needs a right side axle. And I'm pretty confident about that. So we'll see if they want to fix it. I think they dropped it off, and it's getting late today, so I'm not thinking we're going to give them an estimate, get the parts, and get it done today. But we'll see what happens. I guess that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Torque the like button before you head out. Subscribe if you haven't yet. And more than anything, I hope I see you in the next video, because you're awesome.